Here for the final day of our qualification process as we go from north to south to find out where all these teams are dropping.
Obviously, a kind of rough playing for some of the Western teams. Sauner Boys, they're going to have a really rough time. Again, they haven't had any love from the playing path here to begin with, so they're going to have to take some boats or cars and go to Primorsk again, unless they start changing their stuff up.
2 games left. It's the last chance for teams to prove themselves before the chaos of the final. 2 steps away from dreams becoming a reality, or Thanos snapping his fingers and removing half of them from contention. Who will avoid the chaos and who will rise up in the second to last game of the day?
That's right, we're getting into the end game now, my friends. It is time. Let's go over to the commentary team for game number 14 of the PL LAN Qualifier.
Just
Thanks.
Just a real quick question for you. What's half of 16 again?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's not 10. The Thanos doesn't quite work, but there we go. We'll see. Either way, we are going to lose a number of teams, and some dreams definitely will be broken. We don't, as of yet, have anybody clashing anywhere. We weren't sure really how it's going to go. Looks like everybody's going to be pretty safe in their loot locations. Accelerate, kind of touching on towards Alpachinki's territory. You just saw, of course, with the points.
Oh my God!
My God! Again?
Oh, I can hear them yelling from here.
Did somebody like they just copy pasted the server settings? Because that's almost identical.
Oh, you know what I said before when that circle popped last game was that we hadn't seen a military circle and competitive in a really long time. Now we have back to back.
So let's just revisit what happened in the last game. TSM went out pretty early. 300 points behind them is Erangel, who live on Sosnovka Island. This is a problem for them. This is a real problem for Team at TSM and Team Ready.
Where are we right now? I believe we are in the CIS region, and you know, maybe there's a man back there turning dials on the server. You know, trying to
they copy pasta for the next round, please. Well, this is our last game of the tournament. We're going to get ourselves another entertaining one down in Sosnovka Island.
Every TSM fan just set themselves on fire.
I mean, they're not in a bad spot because, of course, we saw before they took the boat from Lipovka and they're just going to take the way around. They'll do the similar. Again, it's an easy rotation for them. What we did see was a number of gate camps being set up. Penta having fun. Might do it again. We saw Tornado. They're known for doing this of the gate camps through the CIS region. They haven't really done it a great deal so far, and they might try and start it up now because they're almost in a down and out position, you know, really with a great little chance of doing anything. They are 500 points. 500 points is all they need to catch up with TSM. It's doable.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens. So the question is now, who decides to do what for rotations? Does TSM, you know, buck a little bit? Do they decide they want to rotate super early? Are they looking around the coastline? I mean, Turtle's already in Lipovka, probably looking for options for boats, and really that is probably a good choice for them. If they jump in a boat, head all the way south, and try and make landfall early, they'll have to give up a lot in the loot phase. But for TSM, this might just be like go conservative, but on the flip side, if they get caught or if anything bad happens to them and they don't have the loot, they don't have the meds, then they just can't carry through the mid game. It is it's precarious at the very least.
Well, Gamer Legion as well, who were just 100 points behind in the previous matchup, now find themselves 300 points behind because their rotation, they went for the boat route as well. But they chose to sit off the south of the island. Rather than going looking for position, they sat off the south of the island, wait for that second shift, and then tried to come in. It's too late. It's too late. People are already in location. Especially in a circle like this, there is limited space available to them. I love what the Sauna Boys did, by the way. Sauna Boys, instead of having to force themselves out to Primorsk, they did exactly the same. Sit around the coastal sort of loot area. There's plenty out there to be had, and it's given them a good position. And, they were a team that was chasing the points. Now look at them. They're 6th place. They had a good day, an average day overall the last yesterday, and that puts them in a good spread. You can see the point spread.
It's very
10th
damn
place
close, man.
is the cutoff. We are 2 games away from finding out the top 10 teams that will be joining the other 6 indirectly invited teams into the PUBG European League, which will be starting next year. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to see how it all plays out. And at the moment, these boys on your screen, Penta, are very safe. They have been for a while. have definitely took the foot off the gas, of course. They've been enjoying themselves once all the work was done by them in the first day.
Looking pretty CIS heavy in that top 8 right now, but there are some standouts. Obviously, the Jokers are having I mean, they've locked it down. It's no questions there whatsoever, but the bottom half is what we're focusing on, really, which is not often what we do in these tournaments. So, yeah, it's going to be a rough go for these guys who are trying to have a nice, easy penultimate game, as Kylara said, and we are here in match 14, and anything's on the table for TSM. It's not all lost if they get it like a 8th, 7th place, which I think would be realistic if things don't go their way in this game, unless something horrible happens. Hopefully no cast or curse there. But to be fair, I did say when the military circle popped that I wish that we had the opportunity to cast this game because it's been so long. And look at this, we got one.
Tornado go over the bridge early. They've got 2 over the bridge at the crossroads. I wonder if they're just going to try and set something up. I don't know. M19 are deciding, like, we're going to go over the river. Screw that. Over the channel. Over the bridge. By the way, future reference for Erangel, I'd love to see a crossing here. Just some sort of beachhead crossing, just something simple to make Sosnovka more viable. I don't know, there's multiple ways of looking at it. You do have the jet skis, etc., of course, available, but in a team environment, when it goes Sosnovka, there is a collective sigh in the room. It's audible. We're, of course, sitting out the back, so you don't get to hear the exact sounds and shouts and desk thumping that happens.
We felt it, though. The collective exasperation wave just came through the walls.
Oh, Shiv, careful you don't get knocked here. He's taking shots from the hillside. 2 of his members are still on the beachhead. It's always dangerous, right? You go for those shots now. If you don't make them, you've got to get over the side, and they're going to be waiting for you. That's tricky to do. Melman down, so Penta catching him out. He was on the beachhead of Milta there. It looks like Kamka's going to try to get back and revive him, but he's getting lit up. Tornado, 500 points outside the top 10 right now. They need to survive. They need to get kills, and Brexika's looking for it.
Do a flip. Now's the time. TSM has started a Navy, by the way. They've got many watercraft in play. Looks like potentially a boat and a couple of Sea-Doos, regardless.
And this is way down in Primorsk, this battle. This is a battle for boats. So SDF tried to send it early and get the boats, and Gamer Legion already like, get the hell off. Melman looks like he's going to get left here. Actually, I'm pretty sure Tornado can lose 2 here.
Yeah, there's just no way off that beach, but Udir is going to get a little bit of pressure further away. And there's Chris. He's going to try. Oh, that's Udir actually getting him down, and that's going to be a quick finish. That's what happens in the ocean. You just plummet to the bottom.
Straight down. And Tornado, they needed 500 points. They might not get it. A team that did very well in the group stages just have not performed in these final brackets. This final 15 games. We're on game 14 of 15. Not long to go. That's the TSM Navy heading down out of Lipovka. Of course, taking all the boats. Team Ready doing similar as well as they're picking up the boats to head south. Penta moving over the bridge right now on the eastern side. Reciprocity making the swim. Looks like they're going to be home and dry. M19 choosing not really to go for the camp on them. Instead, sitting on the edge compound. Don't really understand M19. I guess they're trading loot before they go center in towards military base.
Well, for TSM, they I wonder who's wearing the Admiral hat. Probably Gustav. But it looks like the important part of the military island is starting to get taken over relatively early, and obviously Avangard's going to get the benefit there with Sana Boys, who are both already there. Jokers have arrived, and now it'll be kind of a battle for compounds. Looks like Sana's doing a very strong 2-2 split. One thing that, because we don't see so many military circles anymore, is that new compound by Sosnovka in play. And normally we would see a southern 2-2 split for teams in this area, but they do have the benefit of grabbing that new compound and holding on to it for now. Same for Avangard. Looks like they're going to be doing. I think they're all in the same spot. I can't quite see on the map. It's a little bit jumbled down there, but
I think they're in the 2 edge parts. The 2 little buildings, right?
But I mean, that's a lot of real estate taken over, I guess, is the point. So obviously, there's a lot of water in play. Most of it will be adjusted out.
This is dangerous. So there's 3 members of Team Ready here. TSM are just ahead of them. TSM are getting shot at by Metgungur as well. So kind of just trying to keep them away from the coast of Novo.
Pretty far.
Yeah, it's more like a get away, get away, get away. Yeah, the rest of Team Ready are going to pull in. Remember, these 2 teams, 9th and 10th. Scum is down. That's Kovos. That's actually across the channel. Those shots, of course, Reciprocity just coming onto the beachhead, so they're getting knocked. He's got himself a decent smoke cloud.
No.
You may get Haxetti here. Haxetti getting taken low. Scum will get himself healed up.
was
Oh, he's knocked again.
Damn.
Shiv's the other side of the river.
He didn't.
Shiv didn't get over.
He went straight to the med. I mean, this is just an individual player decision. I can't be too critical, but I think you have a little bit of time to scoot over behind the tree a little bit. But regardless,
Well, I think Rafi, yeah, the Rafi's going to return fire. He needs Rafi to land some of those shots. So Shiv directly below, you can see, directly below, gets scoomed down very low. This could turn around to bite Courage in the end ass, by the way. They have to get over this river. So I was saying the same with M19. Reciprocity. Shiv's going to try and... Is he? Yeah, he's not, can't get up that bit.
trapped on rock. Oh,
no.
It's like getting.
Do they hear him? They hear him. They hear him.
Wreck.
Izoom's looking for it.
I mean, they were already in so much.
Sees him, but it doesn't matter. Shiv will get him. He might be able to flush it out, and he was going to back away.
That's good.
Can't get the angle on the flush. Just has to be careful. Tries to step away. Needs the cover fire as well from his team. They are all trying to fire on top of their head, so they can't even peek over the top there. Shiv will be given the cover he needs, but he's getting caught in the back, and that's him dead.
I was about to say they need all the luck they can get, but that's Shiv down, so. Well, Scoom's up, and looks like for the most part the rest of Rec has made it across, but it is not looking good for the squad.
Yeah, they need, what was it, 700 points or something like that? They need a big performance.
They need basically two really good wins back-to-back, which losing one this early on the northern side with all the good real estate taken, it's going to be rough, man. So it's a bit of a rip there. But so there's most of the water coming out right away. TSM is going to be on the coast, and you can see obviously where all the action is. It's in that western side where all the compounds are, and now Pent is going to claim the last open compound, and it's going to be now ridges, hills, high ground, and fence line in play. And unless someone wants to crash into the military base from the south, which would probably be inadvisable at this stage, maybe the plains.
I want to just point out TSM doing pretty much the identical route they did in the last game. It didn't work for them then. I'll be interested to see if it works out this time. They're going to have to come in behind Team Ready once again. They're getting that little compound and have to work the way south. SDF look like they're also looking to come the same spot. Difference is TSM in place ahead of them this time is kind of who they got caught out before. That's a horrible run from that south position. It's so open, exposed.
Yeah, these military circles really hinge on the compounds that have already been taken by the Sauna Boys and Avangar, especially for the mid game. Red Diamonds are crashing the plane, so there's really nowhere open. It's now just up to. This is one of the few times where I'll say this, that it's RNG, where the circle goes is going to dictate how the match goes. At least from a direct action standpoint, because the military island just has not a lot of, especially where Penta is, not a lot of cover. There's
also a lot of teams arriving late as well. I mean, Reciprocity coming down from north, they're going to have an easy run in. Courage coming over the eastern bridge, Rise Your Edge coming over the western bridge. Alpachinki's still in Ferry Pier, trying to find a boat of some variety. Not going to be anything there. You can see Red Diamonds, of course, they did get into the plane, so safe and dry for them. A beautiful death getting caught out. M19 lighting him up, obviously stepped himself out a little too much. And I was talking about TSM and SDF. They are looking to get very close to one another on the south coast as Alpachinki finally gets a boat in Ferry Pier.
Looking now. The setup, the way this is kind of playing out, at least for Rye, I think they'll be able to come in a little bit easy as well. They should have a compound to hold. Looks like Sauna Boys have decided to condense and give up the split. Alpachinki arriving late, Q-Rage arriving late, Accelerate Gaming just doing whatever, doesn't really matter. So it's just an interesting phase for now, but the real estate and how the circle shakes out, that's going to be a problem.
This is a potential disaster for Gamer Legion. Of all the teams you don't want to meet, when there's 16 alive, it's the Jokers. And they are just catching them out. That's Mackendark and Hamster both down. Gamer Legion, tell a lie. No, it's a replay, is it? Okay. Hamster picked off. Mackendark is now the last man standing. Timber down. So Mackendark and Bjorn in the distance. There we go. So they managed to get Mackendark back on his feet, but it's not kind of worked out for him. Of all the teams to run into, the Jokers, who are just, as I said, killing people.
Yeah.
And I believe was the phrase.
By
We're
mandate.
just killing people.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what they've been doing. There's no question about that.
Oh, Cup hasn't got his German driving license. Actually, tell a lie. No, it is Cup of Magic. He's got Maverick and Wanted in the KO with him. So, German driving license probably not as strong as it used to be, I guess, with the Schumacher days, but the standard. Sauna Boys got themselves a nice 2-2 split across this road. It is fairly to the northwest now with the circle centering, and centering close to that big compound. You remember okay, where was it? It was, is it StarLadder? It was StarLadder, right? We had the Korean OGN team. that got like 24,
Are you
25
referring to
kills.
StarLadder Season 2?
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, but you still watch these things.
No, I was working.
You were working. Oh, you were broadcaster Royale, weren't you? Yes, you were. You were. Yeah, it was a bit tricky to watch when you're in Seattle.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Anyway, big game from them, and
Indeed.
that's a similar compound that Penta are holding at the moment. It is a strong compound, but a very
believe you.
large one.
I believe you.
Believe me, thousands wouldn't. Tripoli, oh no. Oh no. I mean, Accelerate, they've had a... Well, I mean, it's been an easy
Do a
ride for them,
flip.
right?
Oh.
It's been an easy ride for them. Yeah, I know you were trying to ask them to do flips, right?
I said
See if
that
they
there
could
was.
get
I
one.
have 500 Swedish crown in my wallet left over from GLL, and I said that whoever did the most backflips on Accelerate would get it. And it looks like it's not happening right now.
Rustamar's kneecap popped. He's going to get him again, isn't he? Can't quite see him through the wheel. Well, Accelerate being gate camped by Courage. I don't think they're going to be too worried about it. They don't really care whether they go first or 16th at the moment. They're pretty much qualified for the league. They are in second place, 3,354 points for them. Courage, meanwhile, 1,700 points. They need all they can get, and there's the circle shift. It goes pretty much centered onto elite player of M19, but nobody wants to be on that wall. He's got himself a little hut there. That's the spot he's on at the moment.
Camping the bridge in the blue. That's a very pub strategy right there.
Yeah. It's
like
the fallback panic mode. Solar Boys, they're sending it. You can see everybody's starting to try to make moves. Tornado X Team, well, that's not going to work out for you. He's going straight in towards Penta. He's probably going to get exploded. There we go. One more touch will be
He did
enough.
a flip.
He could do a flip. Oh, Leapag got caught out. Team Ready Ascent.
He's actually doing flips. Oh my God, Merkengor. I like it. And punished immediately.
Does he get the Swedish crowns for doing it in Dacia?
I guess that kind of counts.
Oh.
I didn't offer it to him, but I mean, fair play.
Fair play. M19 off the side. Team Ready sitting in, I believe, 9th position at the moment. So they are on the precipice. Big qualification for them. They had a good first day, but an absolute disaster of a second day here. Did very well, of course, in the group stages. Jokers deciding to go around towards the north. Reciprocity have got themselves in a similar position to last game, but this time the Sauna Boys have got into barrels, which was a strong position if you can play it right. If you're not too surrounded, you can see the Penta trying to make the way forward. And going back to the TSM move, again, yes, they come around on boats. Yes, they're on the coastline, but I got a feeling they're in a real problem if this circle goes to the north.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about a little bit earlier, is that the going north from the southern coast, you run out of cover and you have to run through like this complicated wooded area. There's like a lot of lines of sight from the military base. You do have high ground for a little bit where Iroh's currently hanging out.
Would it be, I mean, obviously you don't know yet, but would it make more sense to maybe either get around to the side here? Because you've got this ridgeline where Iroh's sat, basically. You've got this ridgeline that overlooks the military base, gives you a much better position.
Military base is more about, especially with military circles, is waiting to see what the map pressure kind of brings. And with right now, most of that pressure is going to be coming from the north, right? So for them, they can just wait. They don't really expect too much pressure on their side of the zone. SDF is arriving now on the beach. They're getting pressure from Penta. But we might see teams earlier eliminated for these type of circles. So if you're TSM, you want the placement. You don't need to go seek fights. And TSM doesn't have the tendency to seek out fights unless they're, I guess, forced into it, or sometimes this happens randomly. So for now, I expect them to just chill.
Oh, Bjorn. Oh, no. He's going straight into TSM. This is going to be easy for them. Turtle and Rory going to look over the ridgeline. And, yeah.
I would like to join your Navy.
I would like to join you. Gamer Legion, of course, they are one of the teams that are in hot pursuit, trying to line up the drop.
Depth charge. Did you time it right?
Oh, no, it's gone too far. It's gone too far, but he's going to be pretty much stuck on the rocks there. Mac and Dark also coming round for Gamer Legion, the last two players that are alive. Meanwhile, up in the forest, Courage, gate campers, kind of not really worked out. They didn't net too much from it. Tornado Energy Battle going down in 16th place. That's a disaster for them. The CIS region being represented strongly here, but it's the Jokers that have been absolutely smashing it. But the main man, Senya down. They've still got Kemba alive and Dimash, so it's totally possible. Tam down and out at the moment to see if he's going to get flushed.
This is why TSM is waiting. I mean, this is the type of pressure you see in the military circle. So that's the reason. But for now, it looks like Courage is out of the blue and into the fire, as they say.
And they, you know, the thing. What I find is, you know, you pick on the Finns, they will smack you back. And Courage are discovering that. They tried to engage the Jokers and Accelerate just sitting on the hill and sniping from around about 400 to 500 meters away from up on the satellite dish hill. So there's slowly working their way down. And there's the circle. It shifts, and that's a good shift for TSM, actually.
Yeah, this is now where they want to start taking that ridge line, or at least moving up towards that that kind of southeastern side of the new zone. Mikaz and Squeak, you have arrived there.
Oh, no.
Rustam are going to come in as well. And now Bjorn is stuck on the coast, and TSM needs, I think, probably want to move as 4 now. I would expect SDF, they have to expect pressure now from the coastline, and this could be a problem for TSM because it looks like SDF is moving with purpose towards them, and they are fairly split apart. I'm not sure if maybe Turtle spotted them, but no one's looking that direction.
That hangar's got to be like the key position, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty central. It is
going.
tricky to get out of. M19 have got themselves into the far western hangar. Sauna Boys trying to get into it. That's the hangar I'm talking about. You can see Timmy's got himself to it. And it's getting inside there. M19 in the hangar the other side. But they have lost a couple of players on the rotate. Reciprocity moved themselves into the large compound of Sosnovka, probably going to even look to maybe going in towards the hangars there. Maxi once again. I mean, how many times have we seen this man landing shots? Anuktiv with the SKS tapping away on Nuki. But TSM are a little late moving here.
Yeah, a little bit. I think they need to come up a little bit further as well. We don't know what happened, but again, there's just this wooded area. It can be really a nightmare for team fighting. There's a kind of a hill, a slope, but not a lot of solid cover because those trees are really skinny as well. So hopefully TSM can navigate their way closer to center and try and find a little bit more of a definitive spot.
It's the same 3 teams as well that clashed before in that same circle. Obviously got similar rotations, so Penta, SDF, and TSM. TSM looking towards SDF this time. Vanga, meanwhile, closing in on Red Diamonds. That's Steph getting caught out, and now TSM are going to engage. That's going to be a steal from Walkie Bookie, so 16 points confirmed for him. Why we're talking about this, why we're focusing so much on TSM, because they are the 10th place team right now. They are the team that everybody below them is chasing, so the more points they get, the harder it is going to be for Avanga, who had the circle in Sosnovka, but now they're way over to the western edge of the blue.
There's no support for Gustav right now. Rory and Turtle are super far behind. Wookie Bookie's a little bit behind as well, and now they're landing some shots. But if Gustav were to go down there, at least they can come online. But this looks like they have it in hand, so I take it all back.
Sauna Boys, they're down to just Tixu. That's not great for them. Q-Rage going down there, so they're going to get picked off. Anuktiv down and out. Penta getting involved. Maxi down as well. That's a disaster for Avanga. Talking about the fact they're on the edge of the blue, and they're trying to send it in the vehicles right now. They're going to get across, but I think they're going to go straight towards the Wanderer. They're also looking towards the shots. Meanwhile, Reciprocity engaging with Alpachinki. They're getting pushed on the side there. You can see they're trying to get around. Tixu, the last man standing for the Sauna Boys. Raise Your Edge also getting sniped at. So Reciprocity, they need all the points they can get to try and chase this one. They're a long way out. It is a bit of a dream right now for them to try and make it. It's a 700-point difference, and they're chasing TSM, who still have 4 alive.
They need to be doing the alliance strategy from their last game in the group. So just let it all go. Start fragging as best you can. There is no downside to risk-taking right now because you need as many points as possible, and you're only going to get that by just letting go of your nerves, letting go of the fear, and getting out there and trying to do as much damage as possible. Turtle luckily gets saved by Wookie Bookie. That's a nice save by Wookie. Again, Turtle a little bit further.
Just inside the zone.
He's pretty far behind. Maybe he's trying to play security for maybe accelerate. I'm not sure what. We see this a couple of times from Turtle where he seems to be behind the action. I don't know if that's part of the strategy or what. Regardless, it looks like he's going to get rezzed.
Bam.
And
look at that.
Now it's going to be a true test.
Right onto the hangar.
TSM is going to have to fight Penta, who already has a forward position on them. Penta probably either going to crash the fence line or take the ridge. Looks like they're going to fade towards the ridge, and they're going to zone TSM. Accelerate Gaming is also going to have a line of sight onto TSM as they move forward through the trees. Breaksto can already hear TSM and is moving forward, but that northern side, that's the flip side now. What can Rec do to rack up points on the way through the mid-game?
Well, the back's been cleared. They've took down the Sauna Boys, so doing what they can to pick up kills, but now it's a tough old run for them. I think the saving grace is that M19 are actually distracted trying to get a Vanguard, so they may have a relatively decent run in. Of course, they're going to have to smoke it up that pass. You can see Raise Your Edge also being camped out by Jokers.
Luckily,
Raise Your Edge's fence line is outside the zone.
Luckily, a lot of teams are actually dead. We're already down to 10 teams, only at minute 24. There's another down. Wookie Bookie, again, playing a big factor with that DMR. If we can maybe check out TSM at some point to see how this is going. Rustin Mar now coming on the flank. TSM not looking that direction. Joker's currently in first place, by the way. They are 100% qualified.
Yeah, there's zero reason to look at either of these teams because they're completely qualified. It's the teams down the bottom, TSM, who are obviously on the bubble. Penta also coming to catch them out, but we'll keep looking at the #1 team. Turtle, meanwhile, will get Mikaz down and flushed out. Rustamar, as you mentioned, on the flank. Reciprocity, of course, they could get involved in this if they can. They have a bit of a hope and a dream. Rustamar caught out. He got Wookie Bookie down, though. Squeaky did. Gustav should be able to back away and maybe get the revive as quick as he can. He's just going to heal himself up. Squeaky being pressured, but Penta are getting drawn towards this fight. They're keeping an eye on it as they move towards the ridge line. Reggie Reg getting caught out. That's Reciprocity now moved into the zone. They've got themselves onto the hangar as M19 took the southern move.
Looks like Squeaky's going to try and get away in his vehicle. He's just going to dive off the side of the ridge in his vehicle. He's like, whatever, I'm out.
Oh, he survives somehow. Jumps out
He wants the crate.
Avanga might be able to catch him at that range, but now TSM engaged with Penta down the south there. Avanga, they have to get as many points as they can. Iro pops Squeaky's head off.
Wow, nice shot from Iro. And Rye is completely zoned. They're stuck in a guard hut. TSM and Penta getting ready to fight. If anyone's interested in that, we have TSM getting ready to fight Penta on the edge of the zone.
It's okay. D-Mash is just watching Cup of Magic.
There we are.
Perfect. There we go. Chris is moving in. Let's see if he can land some of those nades we saw in the first group
that's
stage.
close.
That's very close. Gustav's got to back away from that one. Wookie Bookie trying to return fire with a nade of his own. That's getting very close as well. Ooh. Chris will, of course, land a nade. Who else? He manages to get on Gustav and flushes it straight away. TSM down 1. Nades back and forward. Chris on the flank at the moment. Rory got to get a peek over to the left-hand side. Penta going to get the smoke
Turtle
down.
Smoked himself.
Iro listening to all of this as well. Rory, he's been caught out as well.
They're turtling.
They've got nothing to lose.
They're turtling.
Oh, the molly down as well as the nade. Penta just absolutely destroying TSM in 8th place at the moment.
This is unfortunate because they needed all the help they can get, and Penta's just steamrolling TSM. It is not close. Turtle had a smoke in front of him. He had no line of sight, and now he's just going to try and trade, and it's not going to happen. TSM down and out, 8th place.
That's big for Avanga and Reciprocity, of course. 8th place, it's going to net them 120 points. Don't know how many frags they had as well. They had a decent amount of kills in there overall. Reciprocity now have to make that southern shift, though. The hangar, the northern hangar is, the southern hangar is the big part of it. And this ridge line could be massive for Penta because they're going to have the overlook over everybody. Avanga, they're sending it along the wall. Azran's going to get in there. Iro's going to have a little peek at him. Probably going to hear that... He did have an M24 in his bag. He's using the Scar at the moment, though. He's going to have a clean angle on him.
That TSM fight unfolded the way it did because I think that they knew Penta was coming, or at least Wookie Bookie, I thought, had a down or some shots as Team Ready goes out, but they didn't protect the ridgeline. That allowed Penta to come all the way up on them into nade range, and they totally got decimated.
180 points for Team Ready there. That's big because Avanga, as I say, 300 points behind TSM, also 400 points behind Team Ready. Can they go and do something big here? The distraction maybe needs to be on M19, but Reciprocity are sending it 2 in the vehicle. That's not looking good. Spinning out, burning on fire. Scoom gets knocked. Haxedi will just about get himself around the side there. Scoom will go down. It's M19 that picked up the kill. Meanwhile, Rafi's been left alone on the north to try and get around the side. Haxedi's going to smoke it up. But Reciprocity down to 2. Snoopy, meanwhile, picked off against the wall. I think Penta have managed to down him.
Rafi, oh, what a shot. Takes down Tab at distance. He's looking for another one. The blue's at his back. He's taking damage. He's got to move just a little bit forward, and he's just trying to get kills. Haxedi's down, and this is going to be, looks like Wreck down and out. That's
and
5th place, yeah.
5th place. They needed the win. It's not going to be enough. Reciprocity, pretty much hopes and dreams lost for them. A big team that will most likely not be in the PEL now. They're going to have to have basically a monster last game.
Yeah,
see if they can send it. But M19 are looking great right now, along with Penta.
It's not looking. I think Rec is done. Unfortunately, it's a heartbreak for a new roster, especially one that's didn't make the GLL final and now likely having to fight their way through contender.
Penta go in.
Penta's coming to the fence line, but moving through. Yeah, looking good for Avangard and now not looking good, but they're there at least.
They need the points. That's the thing. Avangard. I mean, the thing that's going for them here is the fact that the CIS regions are picking each other off. Penta, of course, coming down. They've been so strong throughout, and Avangard. They just need to try and get placement points, as many as they can get. Doesn't want to get too involved in this, Azran. The circle goes his way, so he's inside. And now Chris with his AWM's looking for heads.
Tab, that's the 2nd time he's got shot in the face, and that time with a little bit bigger of a bullet. Only 1 bullet left in that by the way, as there goes Jokers, as Penta picks up yet another kill. Penta is just not taking their foot off the gas.
they refuse to go quietly, even though they've got a terrific position. And they're looking for the win here, essentially, as far as getting atop the leaderboard.
And this is perfect for
the qualifier.
Azran, because he's just sitting against that ledge. M19 can't really peek him because Penta will see him going over there. They've got to go a bit too deep. Wanderer going to try range with the DP. Okay. I guess he's going to see what he can get. Meanwhile, Example has been doing some very good work.
4
with
times
that,
DP, very classy.
I just, you know,
It's the poor. It's the literal poor man's SKS.
I didn't want to second guess, but you know, if it works, it works.
It doesn't.
I don't know. He's going to try. Azran is going to get spotted here. Surely no. He's part of Penta now.
Shoot him.
He's trying his best German. Maybe Azran.
Like
Schnell. 9.
Look at the threat. He's got no backpack.
I mean, they're not even looking because they know that M19 over here, so he
Yeah.
can watch this out. And this is great. Second place for Avanga.
It works.
Second place for Avanga. It could be huge because it's 330 points. Now, they had a couple of kills early on, and if they can just sit and wait as long as he can, it could be massive because he's chasing TSM, chasing Team Ready, who just both had a relatively mediocre performance.
DP 4 times, new meta. Here we go. Get him.
Odia's right up close. Wanderer going to peek. Odia gets up. That's going to surely flush him down. He will do. Next to no health left. It doesn't matter when you can land the shots. They think it's a 4v4. That's what they think. They're thinking it's just a straight team fight right now, which is why Penta pushed up and completely ignored what's behind them. Kane down. Azran just waiting it out. Constantine an Example versus, I believe it's just 2 members of Penta Lance standing. It is. It's Chris and Udia may fire. Little underhand nade. That's going to be very close to Udia. You can see he's on next to no health. He's going to go past him though. He's going to get the med off.
Looks like it, or he's maybe bandaging it. It doesn't look
Has he
like
got anything left?
he doesn't look like I have any med kits, so
No.
or first aids, I should say.
Oh, did
So-
Example just see Azran?
I don't think so. And he's looking that direction, but there's a lot of happening around him, so I think he's just being distracted well enough not to look that direction. So now it's Kane.
They surely see him now.
Where's
They see his
Chris?
feet.
Chris is
They
at
see his
the
feet.
line.
They get him. Azran goes down in 3rd place. It is just going to be 280 points for Avangar, along with, of course, the kill count that they got. And M19 look to be taking this against Chris in a 3v1.
Let's go,
11
Chris.
kills and counting. DP sniping.
I want to see a DP sniper ending. Here comes the nade follow up.
That might be enough.
Oh, he did the fade. He did the turn away as well.
Oh, that's a good nade. Now it's gone the other side of the fence. Gone the other side of the fence. Chris with the AKM backing away. The nade catches him on the side. And the DP headshot comes in. The Wanderer man that takes it down. And 12 kills for M19 to pick up another chicken dinner. I spoke to them yesterday when they got it back-to-back, and they said, oh, we were a little lucky. I was like, lucky? You had 19 kills and pushed through 4 teams. That's not luck, my
Sounds
friend.
like
That
luck
is
to me.
skill, yeah.